So Chadman says, if you have a budget of 10 to 12,000 for speakers, what or would you start with a 5.2, then say for Atmos, or go with less expensive speakers, movie, sports, music, 2,500 cubic feet, basement, brand? Man, there's a Chad. You got a lot of.
There's a lot in that question.
Yeah. $10,000 to $12,000 is a good size budget. Absolutely.
For sure.
I think you can get some really, really great speakers. So you're talking about 5 speakers and 2 subwoofers, or possibly 5 speakers, 2 subwoofers, and at least 2 to 4 Atmos speakers. Number one, I mean, you're talking brands. I can't hound this enough. Do your best to try to hear as many brands as you possibly can, because your ears are going to prefer certain types of sounds. I like horn loaded speakers. I love compression drivers. Some people absolutely hate them. Ryan has electrostats in his room. Not everybody likes that sound. Not everybody likes that narrow, kind of precision. What do you call that? Imaging? I don't know. How would you best describe that, Ryan?
Narrow dispersion.
Dispersion. Okay. So it's just like really honed in, but if you get off axis, then it's going to change drastically. So you really need to try to hear as many different things as you can. Because, I mean, we can, of course, Ryan can go, yeah, go buy some Martin Logans. I can say, yeah, go buy some JTRs or clips and stuff that I've owned, or Martin Logan 60XTIs that I reviewed that were phenomenal speakers. But I can't tell you what you're going to enjoy. So brands, my vote in walls or towers. I like towers. But there's definitely some great brands out there that are making performance-based in walls.
Yep.
So we've got Perlison. They make a killer in-wall setup. I did a video with them at Cedia just recently. They're all about measurements. They're all about performance. The guys there, I had a chance to fly up there and meet with them, spend some time with them, about 2 days with Eric and Dan. And these guys know what they're talking about. They're true engineers in the space. Dan has been designing speakers for many, many, many years for a lot of different brands. And he finally was like, man, I think we should just make our own brand. And they came out of the gate like crazy, dude. They have probably 20 different models that are THX Dominus. And at that time, nobody in the market had achieved that level. Nobody. And they come out of the gate swinging, I think I just did 2 different things there. Come out the gate swinging, trying to combine baseball and like horse racing or something. I don't know. But anyway, you get the point. But they came out and they're like, look, we're going to make a statement. And they made these incredibly performing speakers, but they make some great in walls. And Ryan, are they out now as far as availability?
Yeah, you can order them, but they're not shipping yet.
Problem is, I don't think you're going to fit within that $10,000 to $12,000 budget.
No,
listen,
not with subs.
Yeah,
the subs are going to eat up a big part of that. But there's so many variables that go into this question, Chad, man. I mean, how important is low frequency? How loud do you listen? I mean, does that $10,000 to $12,000 include amplification? I mean, things can get eaten up very, very quickly. Something else to consider is how far away is your main listening position, because that's going to dictate the size of the speaker and the volume requirements and a ton of other stuff.
Yeah.
So
probably the best thing, Chadman, honestly, reach out to Ryan. Just shoot him an email. He'll jump on the phone with you, and y'all can kind of pick your brain as, all right, what are your goals and what do you want to accomplish? And let's look at your budget, and he can kind of figure out, some things that he might be able to recommend to you. And then hopefully you can find a place to listen to those types of speakers. Unfortunately, we realize a lot of these stereo shops, they're not here. The hi-fi shops, they've closed down. And so sometimes we don't have the option, and sometimes we have to trust somebody else's opinion, or we have to look at, somebody that has done measurements on these speakers, if that's valuable information to you. And you just have to do your own homework on that. But Ryan can definitely talk to you about some different options. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to him.
I promise I don't bite. And if I am definitely a no pressure kind of guy, we can just talk. And if you decide that you want something else that I don't offer, man, that is perfectly fine. I just want the best experience for everybody that I have experience or talk to, whether that be through me or somebody else or with a different product. So don't think that just because you talk to me, you got to buy something. That is
Yep.
no way, shape, or form the case. I don't think Michael would do things with me if that were the case. So it's
No,
very
yeah,
much if something works out,
yeah,
I'll take care of you. If not, and you find something else, hell, I'll even recommend things that I don't necessarily sell if it makes sense to you.
yeah,
So just
yeah,
happy to help in any
yeah.
way I can.
Ryan and I, it's funny because we seem like we've been friends for a lot longer than we have. It's probably only been
11
like
months.
a year. Yeah,
11 months.
it's crazy, man. Super crazy. But I value your friendship. I value the advice that you give. I value the experiences you've had, up in Kansas City with the other guys, with your own theater room. I've heard firsthand your setup many times. And so you know what you're talking about. So definitely reach out to Ryan. He'll hook you up, and he'll only take your money if you want to send it to him. No obligation.
Yeah,
So
absolutely not.